Hello and welcome back for week 4 of Bottom Split Rookie. As always, if you're enjoying my content, then let me know by liking my video, and if you want to see more, then hit that subscribe button. This week, we will enjoy some good old short track racing, as this week the drivers head to Southern National Motorsports Park in Lacama, North Carolina. This nearly 30-year-old 4/10 of a mile banked short track has been host to plenty of exciting racing. But before we get into the race, let's show you Southern National Motorsports Park. Welcome to Southern National Motorsports Park. We find ourselves again in our street stock car. Let's go out and take some laps. The pit entry is a little bit treacherous as it's pretty narrow. Have to be careful that if you enter pit road and come back out. Well, like most of them, you're going to want to stay up against the wall and arc it down into the corner. Follow it up to the wall. A little brake pressure to get it to turn in there. Try not to get on the throttle too early and loop the car coming off. But just nice, easy inputs. No flooring it. Be careful getting off the corner a little too hard. Fun little track with similar corners. Be an opportunity to really kind of get in a rhythm and just keep knocking laps out. How fast can we go before we lose control? We've only upped the steering ratio to 14-1. Oh, 15.8. Oh, got in there a little hot. That is Southern National Motorsports Park, and we will take it back to the booth so we can watch the action as it unfolds today. All right, well, we are closing in on starting the race. Actually, looks like we're about to get going here. Let's go up and have a look at the starting field as they grid up. There should be a an interesting race today. Caught a snippet of a race earlier today, not the bottom split, but it was unfortunately a single car on the lead lap. Bunch of people who, for whatever reason, appeared as though they did not bother to qualify or practice or really do anything. And as a result, there were many incidents that could easily have been avoided that were unfortunately still occurring, probably easily into about the halfway point of this race. And at 30, what is it, 40 laps, it's going to be a long ways to continue to have these kinds of things happen. Let's go stand up here. We've got a scary looking snake car of the 12. We have the 5 car starting on the pole with the 12 sitting on the outside pole, followed by the 3, the 15. Then we have the 4, and the car has decided to have his number not be visible. 13, we got some people on the side not going there. 14, 9 and the 8, 10 and the 1, and our lone 2 car. Few people taking the option to start as far back as possible because this could be very scary. Pace car not off yet. One more trip around this track before we end up getting the green flag. Again, this purple car just kind of chilling out back here. And as they turn into turns 3 and 4, pace car ducks onto pit road, and they get the green flag. Car taking a good lead here. No, he needs to get out here to start not get ran over going into the turn. So far, 3rd and 4th are battling side by side. Most have kind of gotten themselves in a single file. This is a little bit better than the last lobby. That was a higher split than these guys. Be very careful negotiating an early and a low entry into the corner, as your off corner will be a bit not where you want it, and just the car taking a very poor line and running them up the track there. That was not definitely not good. Oh, we have a self spin off turn 2. Oh, a little bit of blinking going on there. Leaders still 1st, 2nd, and 3rd are all single file here. Oh, we have the trying to get back on the track, and that was a very poor decision with as far back as the field as it was. Oh, we got a car in the pit wall there. Leaders still coming down through here. This is doing quite well. I'm very impressed with the field this time. We have a lot of single file going on here, and looks like everybody is kind of finding out where they're at on the track. Things are stringing out, and we may not have a field full of cars that are not on the lead lap. 5 car is still out to a good lead. 2nd and 3rd. Somebody close. Oh no, 3rd place. Got a little loose coming off the turn. Slides up the track. Good execution. A few times we've noticed just a few guys making some entries below the inside line there, causing them to hit that apron, and that is a place you do not want to be. It will very much upset the balance of the car and can cause you to lose control, or at least have to try to catch that car as you slide up the track. Not too many people diving it into the corner faster than the guy in front of them. Nobody running anybody over this time, which is excellent. Very glad to see the bottom split of cars here are doing quite well. A few cars getting a little loose off, putting the power down a little too early. But really not too bad. I think we had a car blinking up there by the wall. Leaders out to an impressive lead. 2nd and 3rd are still trying to make it up here. A little smoke back there. Looks like a few more cars towing their car back to the pits. 3rd place gets a run on the 2nd. He's underneath him. Oh, almost sticks it in there where he was not clear to go. Battle's heating up, as I'm sure he wants to take another crack at him if he could get back to him again. Oh no. The 5 car make a mistake? It would appear as though Our second and third place cars are catching the leader. This is a good race. Mostly clean up to this point. A little loose back here, further back in the pack here. Leader starting to catch some lap traffic. But everybody's really kind of got back out to a decent lead here. Everybody's all single file. Oh no, we got a car self-spinning to the inside. We want live. Bit of an entry, whoa! Loses it coming off the turn. Whoa! Definitely unsafe, rejoin there. Take a ride with our leader. And the gyro cam, we can definitely see the banking on the track. It's fairly steep. And 7 car not having a good day, just self-spinning again. As the tires wear, you're going to have to drive that car a little bit differently. It's not going to handle the same way as it did when it was on fresh tires. As the tire pressures build up, you will definitely experience some handling characteristics of your car changing. And here the leader's now catching up to the 7, who's definitely not on pace. And I think they might have made light contact with him, and I think that's all they needed to get out on incident points. But you get up by that wall, arcing it down into the turn, keeping it down there on the bottom, and letting it drift right up against the wall. Leader's running an excellent line here. We are 24 laps into our 40-lap race. We have a smoking car in the track. Not entirely sure what happened to them. I'm not sure what happened, but we had the settings buttons for the next and previous cars, but that is not working at the moment, so apologize for that. We have to set up our controls here. So we're in second place. Third place is still back there. We got a bit of a distance, probably due to the accident that happened. There's our leader again, coming up on some more lap traffic. 8 car stays high, 5 goes underneath him. Oh, 4 car sideways on the front straightaway. That is unfortunate. I think they came off the corner, got sideways, and that was the end of it. Lost it, made contact with the wall, and unfortunately someone else impacted him. We're definitely seeing how the handling characteristics of the cars, depending on how they were driving them. If they're not driving them well, they are going to hurt the handling of that car, and it is not going to handle late turn-ins, something that I struggle with myself, are always bad because you're going to put a lot of heat in that right front tire, and that is going to cause the car not to handle the way it was. Develop a terrible push. If you get on it too much coming off the turn, get a lot of wheel spin on the rear, that car is going to get very loose coming off the turn. I think they hooked the apron down there, so, oh, man. It is better to just hang out. Let people avoid you. Do not be a moving target. A stationary target is what you want to try to avoid. Uh-oh. The car's blinking. 33 laps into the race of 40 laps. I will say, depending on how this ends up working out as far as who's laps down, I'm impressed with this race. The first 3 races this season have been absolutely atrocious. This is a much better group of drivers here today. Mistakes are being made, but not to the severity and extent that we've witnessed anywhere near the first few races. Leader coming up on yet more lap traffic from cars spinning. Altogether, the 5 cars putting in a good race. Quite consistent. Oh, we got a purple car just looped it up on the back straightaway, facing the wrong direction. Luckily they towed, so no impact to the guys around them. Do not forget, make sure you know what that button is, either on your keyboard or on a programmed key someplace, whether it be on your steering wheel or on a button box that you may have. Program that key for exiting the vehicle, i.e. towing the vehicle. Because if you prefer that person not be stopped in the middle of the track that you now have to avoid, don't be that person you don't want to encounter. Looks like we are white flag for the leaders. 5 car holding an impressive race against the field today. And Checkered Flag is out for the leader. The 5 car wins the race today. Started up front and just continued to be a model of consistency. Don't forget, people, as the race is still going, until you park that car and get out, incident points are still capable of being incurred. So you definitely don't want to be that person causing incident points for other people. So that car is no longer on the track, so we have no, of anything. Well, overall, this is a very impressive race. All these drivers, more of the drivers, performed far more admirably than we've witnessed in previous races. Almost running out of things to show or talk about. But what we will do here is we're going to go back to the beginning. With our audio on and just see what's going on. Everybody quite respectful out the gate. A few mistakes. Stuff's gonna happen. That's how you learn. A little bit of a bang up back here on the back straightaway. Cars just going into each other. They did not. That may have been a favor being repaid. Oh no. Who was that? 7 car. Almost causing some severe problems for the leaders. This guy is down. Oh, 15 car is the one in the barrels at the backstretch pits. All in all, just not good. But again, a lot of really good entries in the corners here. time some of these guys farther back here trying to make up some time, catch back up to the cars in front of them that are for position, getting off that turn. I'm almost thinking we might have more accidents coming off turn 4 than we did coming off turn 2. This may be the more exciting of the corners. Pass is trying to be made back here. He almost got up alongside him back there. Again. Red car doesn't get the same good drive off that corner. He's entering low, drifting way up coming off the turn. He's letting the black car get that good run down there, and he's staying right with him.
Dude,
want to hear the audio, I guess you got to go back and actually listen to it. Clearly there was some chatter going on here. I don't think the beginning had a whole lot going on. That was just unfortunate. We had 4 car get into the 15, sent him right into that barrier. 15 makes a terrible entry into that corner. 15 does not need to be so low. Needed to swing up here on the outside to get that proper angle for corner entry. And instead, he doesn't make it, gets a late turn in, gets loose, catches it, loses a lot of momentum, and the other car just got into him. 15 manages not to do it there, but he corrected it enough that he came back up into the 4.
are you fucking serious, 4 car?
Yeah, well, it was mostly your entry. You probably could have slowed down, but
Are you fucking serious, 4 car?
I don't really see how that's the majority is their fault. Now 15 made a interesting play here. 15 just drove right into the 7, overdrove that turn, ends up down on the apron, and if I'm not mistaken, 15 is the car who ends up. I think there's a little retribution coming on here. Oh, I think the 4 is going to try to get the 15 back if I don't. Here's the retaliation. That was coming. Oh, that was not a happy. That was not a happy bit by the 15. these cars tow and know that there are no cautions and that there's nothing going to save you. If you make a mistake, that mistake is yours to own and either come back from or not. A lot of people leaving and after their incident, not to return. Car getting a little bump to the car in front of him. It's fairly incident free. I think this is going to be one of the lowest incident counts for a rookie class race this season. I'd like to give more faith to those driving, but I don't think I'm gonna get it. Got some blinking cars causing some calamity. Oh.
Number 4.
That was some problem. Who was this? 14 and 10, huh? Let's get back on to somebody here. Fourteen's blinking. 14 just spun himself. He was up high and was not going to make that turn. I'm guessing he gassed it and turned the wheel too hard, trying to get back down, and that was just too much. Car broke traction and around they go. 10 didn't have really anywhere to go. Only so much brake going to happen. This is where learning to see what's going on in front of you, I suppose having additional monitors, because you done blinked out. It's only partially visible on the primary monitor. It's now completely out of frame. Not enough to even really be able to notice. He's now gotten loose. Now he can see it, and there's nothing he could have done. If he doesn't have triples, he's not going to see that guy's car up there. That is unfortunate. There's another car. Causes a problem so close to him, he just had nowhere to go. And the 10's not.
Number 14. Come on, man.
Yeah, that was all on the 14.
You were out of control. You couldn't hang on to your spot. And of course, you had to wreck. I mean, come on, dude.
It was unfortunate. 10 likely would have had a decent finish.
You need to learn some patience and learn to slow your roll.
Mostly good advice. Patience is definitely a good thing to have. I think the larger piece of advice would be do not give hard inputs, whether it be throttle, steering wheel, and worst of all, both. If you do both, you are asking for an accident to occur. Loss of control at the least, 4X's at more, multiple impacts, a lot of people mad at you.
Mic check.
Again, there's not a whole lot going on for us to take a look at.
I got you loud and clear.
Got a few blinkers.
Sure is a lot of rammers in this race.
From up here,
Drivers are survivors, folks.
In. However, I think that's going to be pretty common no matter where you're going to be at. with any type of newer drivers, just knowing where to lift is going to be a learning process for them. These guys are still trying to figure out where that is. You know, when you're behind somebody, going in at the same speed that you were going in previously is not going to work. You got to lift a little bit sooner because you don't know where they lifted. Yeah, just overturned it. Lost control entering. Continued that loss of control. 1 helped him around, and 7 goes to the inside. Just a little bit of driving it in and it getting a little loose. But mostly over the course of these laps, you will hopefully start to be able to build up that rhythm. Exactly where to let off. No, we got more issues occurring. 14 car making some unfortunate spins going on here. Was he the mercy of somebody else, or was this all on them? $14. Just being a little bit aggressive. 7 car, I think, trying to avoid that. But, no, maybe the 4 car, let's take a look from behind. Did the 4 car get loose? That was a little bit on the 4 car's part. The 2 guys in front for spots. Those guys were doing some stuff, and the 14 was having a good roll through that turn. Seemed to be pretty quick. And those guys kind of juked each other out there, and 14 tried to get down there. It was an unfortunate situation. I don't know that there was much that they were going to do about that. 7 car seems to have self-spun. I don't know if that was a result of some hard inputs or not enough video footage to determine what actually happened there. I'm trying to get the thing turned around over here. Just a few. Just kind of getting a little lost of control entering, or a little bit coming off, a little wheel spin. It's really all that seems to be going on right now. People running some lanes are a little bit higher than they probably should. Like I said, all in all, a really good race. Car blinking, coming back out on the track. 7 car. Well, they're not taking any damage repair and just coming back out on the track anyway. Rolling some smoke. Realizing his car is still hurt and then taking it back down pit road again. Could be a problem with ticking some of them boxes. I forgot to do that. Forgot to take tires. Forgot to not take tires. Not check the boxes in time. I mean, it happens. Oh! Got a little bit of something going on here with the 8 car. Come on now. Oh, 13. was a pretty abrupt wheel turn. And just carrying too much speed through that part of the corner. Just trying to gather it back up. He's trying to stay out of people's way, but boy, that was a lot of correction back and forth. Yeah, way too much speed. There's our 4-car looping it in front. For all that, 4-row's doing pretty good. I don't know if that was a wheel correction on top of what was already going on. It got a little loose. He probably corrected it. Still spinning them. He thought he had it, and it went further. And it's just along for the ride now. 2 was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Trying to get moving here. Was that the 5 that clocked him? Yeah, 5 made some contact. An accident off that turn collects 1. 2 cars. Just putting some damage into them. Unfortunate. Just unfortunate. 5 cars trying to figure out how to get down. The traffic's pretty spread out. Don't know if his wheels. Nope, his wheels definitely hurt. Right front has some serious damage from the impact. And he wasn't able to get down that last lap. Cars are still blinking. There are 31 laps into the rest of what this was. As it goes on, the attrition is continuing. You have yet more cars spinning around here. 12th car, I believe, had a self-spin coming off that turn all by himself. Too much speed. Let's have a look at the hands, though. Yep. Almost a repeat of what already happened, however, they somehow managed to get that sucker into reverse gear. It's up there. Just down and out of the way. On one side, I'm impressed with that, but the other side, that was horrific to see that coming as you're coming up to him, like, oh my god, he just slid down the track. Moving target. Again, not good. Do not be the moving target. Yeah, some of these guys just carrying too much speed into the corners. Real hard entry into that turn. It's only going to cause you to push up in the center unless you're really trying to do some diamonding of the corner. Getting into the bottom, getting down to the inside on entry, letting it drift up in the center, and then driving it back down on the bottom, which I don't think you're really going to get away with here. This track's a little too small for that. You definitely don't want to do that. I'm going to say it's just too much hammering on it coming off. We're getting the car's just. Oh, we got a self spinner back here. With the purple car. The tow already. Started in the back. Not having a really great day. Well, still 8th though. I don't remember how many this is out of. Let's take a look here. What would we be doing? We're up here against the wall. We're going to start our turn in. Wow. Like, it is bouncing off the rev limiter, continuing to increase, still going faster. Now he lets off. He needed to let off a little bit earlier. Carrying too much speed in. There's the back end, braking traction. The counter steer. Now, a little bit late. Yeah, see, we needed to, as that was, don't forget, if the wheel is turned to the counter steer, once the vehicle reaches a safe speed, you don't want to leave that wheel turned hard. I'm sitting here behind mine as I'm doing this. I'm just kind of watching the steering wheel here, and being it with mine as we're in the turn, it's breaking loose. We're countering. It's lost enough speed. Steer back. Yeah, see, I didn't even get it in time. We have got to be ready for that thing to lose enough speed to now turn it back down. Well, that's easier to see in slow motion than it is to catch it when it's going though. Down here, back, and he lost it. Yeah, that's hard. In slow motion, it looked like you had enough time to do it. And you can kind of see once that car does that, because once the tires stop spinning quite so much, that hard wheel turn, it's going to grab. We are talking about racing slicks. They are going to grab, and they are going to want to get traction and go the direction they're facing. You just turned it into counter direction. It's going to want to go up that way. Looks like we are checker flag for the 5 car. Side by side with those guys at that spot. I believe they have a whole nother lap to continue to complete.
Good job, guys. Good race.
I will echo that this was an absolutely excellent race for bottom split as I've seen it thus far here at Southern National Motorsports Park. Just a good effort on most people's parts. There were a few people that had some issues, and those people, really kind of found themselves out early and got that figured out. They either ended up leaving because they were not able to stay, or they kind of figured out the car. Again, a few overdrivers at the end, really driving it in a little too hard. But I think that comes with just that level of confidence that you start to have with feeling like you've got the track figured out, and you're either pushing to try to catch somebody, or you're just trying to increase your speed, crack off some better lap times, and hope to catch some more people. So I can't say as I blame them. I think that is common. I think there's plenty of people that would fall in those same lines as far as trying to get to that point and do those exact same things. Well, I for one think that was an excellent race to watch. Not as much carnage, but we definitely got to see a few things. as cars were figuring that track out. Here's a car running. Must be the pace car. Yep. Yeah, they never shut this thing off. May not have a lot of miles on it, but woo-wee! That thing is idling all the time. Not quite as exciting of a short track race as far as bumping, banging, exciting competition, just position swapping that we did get to see with the last short track. But I think still a good one. I believe next week we will be repeating our set of 4 races here in the Rookie Street Stock Series. So I believe we will be back at Charlotte. Now I'm feeling like oops. Like I'm going to end up eating my words here if we don't say the right one. So we're going to go check our schedule here as we're sitting. Alright, current series for our street stocks will be week 5 will be 20 laps at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We've already done our driver rounds for the first 4 races, so basically we got group of 4 3 times, so this will be the first reset. Going back to Charlotte, then Langley, then USA, then Southern National Motorsports Park, and then a repeat again to get us through the 12 races of our season. So let's see if we can determine who. Let's have a look, see how many people finished on the lead lap. Yeah, we had 4 people on the lead lap. Definitely some attrition as the race wore on. But all in all, an excellent race. So join us back here again next week when we go back to Charlotte and see whether or not our drivers are doing better in their second go around at Charlotte Motor Speedway. See you next time.